Vice President Harris sits down with Fox News chief political anchor Brett Baier and is grilled on tough questions on what she would do for the American people. Will this help her campaign? Let's get to the interview.
Madam Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad.
That's a damn good question. That's a damn good question. Let's just see what she say.
Glad you raised the issue of immigration, because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have, and you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which
number?
Is,
do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have an
it's a rough estimate of
system.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes.
True.
So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the CHIPS and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the... Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please? But you have to let me finish,
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they didn't bring up
in the
that
middle of
bill.
responding to the point you're raising,
Okay.
and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of...
I would just say this, right? She skipped the question. The question was clear. How many people came into the damn country? All right. Do you know? No, we don't know. All right. Let's just be honest. That's what I would have said. I would we don't know, but it's estimated that it could be up to 15 million people. This is what I would do. First things first, I would have ICE do their job. All right. Then I would work with the communities all across America and say, listen, stop with this thing on sanctuary city type foolishness. These people that came here illegally, they need to get out of here. Simple as that. Oh, what about the kids? Get them out of here. Oh, they already in school. Get them out of here. Give them a few shillings, send them packing on a plane, the next hot plane going out, and say, hey, listen, go to school there. Oh, but we already here. Get them out. Oh, but we integrated. Get them out. That's all you gotta do. Simple as that. Don't dance around the question. See, places like Fox News, interviewers that's on Fox News ask those hard, tough questions that's real direct, and I'm direct too. I love interviewers like that because I can look them right in the face and be like, this is what I would do. Simple as that. I wouldn't dance around the question. And she danced around the question. So they're gonna get her on this. They're gonna get her on this. And it's gonna look bad. It's already looking bad. It's already looking bad. Hey guys, this is just a short break in the video to ask you, if you haven't already, to like the video. That would greatly help me out. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I'm a new YouTuber and I'm trying to grow. And I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in December. But I could only do it with your help. So I really need your help, guys. Thank you so much. Back to the video.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
6 Democrats voted against that bill.
Learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you,
but actually is focused on fixing it.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed.
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced. That if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur.
I have to give her that one. That was a good comeback. That was a good comeback. There was a solution on the table, you know, but the thing is that you did have Democrats who voted against the bill. And that's the problem with a lot of these politicians. If it doesn't suit them, they're going to vote against it, which is flipping foolish. You should be there for the American people, especially if you in the U.S. Senate or you in Congress, the House of Representatives. You are there for the American people.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are. True. That it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brad. Well, that's how this system works.
She's right. Now, I totally agree with that. Congress has the purse strings. That's the only place it's going to be fixed. And for a journalist, that's who you should be focusing on. You say, hey, listen, are you going to be the type of president that's going to champion getting these bills done? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, cool. How are you going to negotiate with Congress, with congressmen and congresswomen and U.S. senators on getting this bill done so that the American people will no longer have to go through the situations that we have gone through? Simple as that. That's a straightforward question. And if you can't answer that question, then you say, all right, cool, noted, move on.
They say
On
it was
plans
different,
for the
but let's-
American
we'll move
people,
on.
I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker,
Why do you
would
think more
ignite
people
inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that.
The reason why many Americans trust Trump more than they trust Harris is because, number one, Trump is a businessman. They feel that he has more experience on being able to help create more jobs, be able to make sure that the country can make more money and things like that. With VP Harris, she has no experience with that. Now, she has experience being a prosecutor. That's good. She has experience being tough on crime. That's good. But when it comes down to the American economy, when it comes down to making sure that this country is being run properly and more jobs being created, and you're being that advocate, you're being that person, that head honcho that people look to, that's in charge, and say that, hey, listen, you know what? The things that she is saying is the things that the American people agree with, and the things that Congress is going to come together with checks and balances to make sure that they give her a bill that she can sign and do what needs to be done for the American people. That's what a lot of people are saying, that we kind of don't agree with her, and we kind of agree more with Trump. But only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
I'm someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans.
One thing I would say, a lot of word salad, but some of her economic plans make some sense, like with the first-time home buyer program and everything, increasing it to $25,000. That's good and dandy, but let's be honest. If you don't get the cost of housing down by getting a lot of these corporations out of, get all of these corporations out of residential property. Let's just be straight off the bat, all right? If you really care about the American people, you would advocate for a bill that says, listen, no person can own more than 5 properties. Like what? Yes. It's not socialism. It's not communism. It's capitalism. You know how it's capitalism? Because everybody will have the opportunity to get a chance to get some of the American pie. It shouldn't be that one conglomerate has 80,000 residential homes. That's ridiculous. Okay? It shouldn't be that a company like BlackRock or Vanguard or whoever can come in and buy up all these properties, or Berkshire Hathaway can come up and buy all these properties and then saying, oh, rent from me. No. The American people wants to own something. All right? That's part of the American dream. But right now, we're living in an American nightmare where we see all these companies owning things. And you know what type of government that is? A government that allows corporations to run amok is called fascism.